Okay, hello all, it's Jalmari from King of Funnel once again, and today we are talking about how to validate a business idea fast, so super crucial topic. So let's go. Uh, this is now for you if you are playing around with a new business idea, or maybe you have existing business but still looking for product market fit, so you really need to do something unlike so far, or you are just rolling out the new concept in an existing business or any kind of new initiative whatsoever. So when we talk about new ideas and working on new business ideas, it's actually about risk reduction. So here we have this kind of illustration that okay, as humans we are quite good in like our minds are very good with coming up all kind of ideas. Some people say that we have like 75,000 thoughts per day. So of course most of the ideas our brains are generating are not very good business ideas, so the probability of success is very low. And like if we check these 5 balloons here, there's like this the percentage, what's the probability of success. It's the number 4th that has a little bit higher. All others are like super low. So the for example, in this example, 4 ideas out of 5 are bad, and it's kind of selling ice to Eskimos. So it just, despite of what you do, it won't work. And hope is it's an inbuilt function of our mind. Our psyche would collapse without it. So even we get, like, every time we get idea, because we are humans, of course we believe and hope that it will work. And there's like all these biases like confirmation bias, overconfidence bias, sunk cost bias, whatsoever. So we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, even the only way to go nowadays is to validate fast. And in other words, it's kind of like that the sooner, the faster we can actually locate the bad ones, the faster we can proceed to the idea that is working. So it's kind of like myth busting scenarios as soon as possible. And here's a case example. Let's say this is Mr. Smith with mobile app idea, and he's come up with idea that he could help entrepreneurs who could scan the receipt and send the value-added tax information you need to deduct these taxes to your accountant automatically. So now we have 2 kind of options. The scenario 1 is to build the entire app, kind of the MVP, minimum viable product, and all the parts like how the text scanning feature works, and how do you integrate this with all kind of tax systems the accountants are using. And then you start testing this when it's like when you have built something for a long time. And of course the scenario 2 is to test the business idea now. So that's what we are talking about. So fast validation. And in there we need to first break down the business elements, then prioritize the most vital and riskiest ones of those elements, and finally start experimenting the top 1 to 3 elements whatsoever. And of course the huge difference here is that if you can get first feedback if the idea is going to work at all in 7 days, it's like huge. It's, you can't compare it for building something, even you call it MVP, for like half a year or 2 years or whatsoever. So now I'm going to go through these 3 steps here. So step 1, the business element breakdown. This is my own kind of, I saw it originally in David Plant's framework. He's author of Testing Business Ideas book. Anyway, so we just need to split down all the pieces in our business, the elements, in a way or other. So for example, there is the yellow one, the market risk. What's the competition? What are competitors saying? What are the channels? How the ads will work, etc. Then there's the business model risk. Like, is it viable? Like, can we do money with it? Does it make sense? So kind of like business model risk. And then the last one is the green one, the product risk. Like, can we build it, etc. And some people go this is the viable, feasible, desirable kind of triangle in product development. But of course, you can actually make the breakdown. It doesn't matter what's the framework if you can just kind of figure out what are the pieces in your business. It can be SWOT analysis, business model, Gamma, whatsoever. So now I just took like a fictive scenarios here from this Mr. Smith mobile app idea. So for example, the market risk, like here are the questions, and these are just to help you to come up with these elements. But you can make any kind of element, but this is kind of like just core to help you thinking to answer these questions. I want to start like we believe that, because in that case, in that way, you automatically turn the hypothesis in your mind in a way that it's more kind of friendly to test, and you need to have some kind of reasoning behind it. Anyway, so for example here, the market risk. The target customer for our solution is 20 to 40-year-old solopreneur. Or the we can reach out customers through, so kind of the marketing channel risk. We can reach our customers through Facebook ads. And same with business model. Like there's hype, like we can make profit because most of users will continue the subscription, or they are willing to pay high enough money because it's great time saving. Or product risk, we can hire a cost-effective remote mobile app development team from Ukraine. And these are just examples, and next I'm going to show how to prioritize this. So we have this kind of square here, and now this is just the same elements, and now these answers for these questions are just written on these kind of post-it notes. And next we want to place those in these fields here. So the first step, when you have made this, you want to think this horizontal line, the x-axis here, that we like how much there is evidence that this piece is going to work, or there is no evidence, so it's super kind of risky. And then you just put those here. For example, if you know that 20 to 40-year-old solopreneurs are your customer profile, and you are like really sure about it, then it's here, because it's the evidence is strong. But at the other end, like 40% of users will continue the subscription. There's like, well, we don't know. That's probably one of the core questions in the whole business idea. So it's super risky, and all others are somewhere between. And now the next step, when you have first evaluated how sure you are that it's going to like what's the evidence that it's going to be like this, then you evaluate that how critical it is for the business to work. So now you just move those same post-it notes up or down. And of course, like this is like super critical that users will continue the subscription, or we need to reach customers through Facebook ads. So it's kind of obvious that these are going to be here on the upper part, and same with all post-it notes. Now the point is that the red square here, this is the area that you want to test first, because now you have split down the elements and prioritize the ones that are most critical, and at same time there's not much evidence that it will work. So these are the ones you want to start to testing. So now we have already kind of crunched huge amount of information and all kind of speculations that what some kind of business would be, and really like squeezed it into small elements, and even from those we can just like sort out the 1, 2, 3 most crucial ones. So in other words, it's like that, like if I should say that what is the one thing that needs to be true so that my business will work, and currently the number one is here. Okay, so now the step 3 is to turn these into experiments so that we can get more evidence that it will work. And as an example, here's the market risk and the business model risk. We can reach our customers, 20 to 40 year solopreneurs, through Facebook ads. And the business model risk, 40% of the users will continue the subscription. First, let's start with the market risk. This is still quite relatively straightforward. So we can just start to, well, in this case, it's easy to just start to run Facebook ads. Like for example, just write a blog post with compelling headline. So it talks to this group, and then you start to run ads on the blog post, and you can track like click-through rates. And the setup takes like 1 hour. If you I don't know, write the blog post in 40 minutes, then you have 20 minutes time to set up one ad and just kind of start to feel that is there any resonation. Of course, there's less evidence, but after that you can, if that looks good, you can reach people and they start to click. Then you can, I don't know, make an opt-in page, lead magnet whatsoever, and start to like automate some emails in a CRM, and start to track like if there's open rates, how much people will download the ebook, etc. So just to see that are they still like when you get this kind of a person in your ecosystem, for example in your email list, are they still willing, is the problem you are talking about something that they are ready to act in a way or other. And if you, after this, you can still see that, okay, people are really resonating, they are reading blog posts, opening emails, clicking links, then it looks good. Now, the business model risk. This is hard part, especially because world has changed a lot. Like if you, like when you start to read this lean startup and these kind of books, like people have been talking about MVPs like for years or decades now, and it's so misunderstood concept, and the world has also changed. Like we are living the no-code era, so there's a lot of kind of misunderstandings and also old information out there. Like just like in the 10 years ago, people always say that, hey, if you want to find a business, find a startup, you need to have a technical founder with you. And yeah, probably, or you need to have huge investments so you can pay for the hardware you need to run your software. But both of those are not valid points anymore. Yeah, like you can first of all, you don't need any money to run any kind of software, because it's like, okay, it's not free, but you can, of course, use like cloud computing these days. Anyone can start do it. You don't need investment from that. Also, you can build things pretty like actually for quite long time without having a technical founder. And of course, even after that, you probably won't have, or maybe you don't have still a technical founder any day. So now the point here is that we need to locate the weak spots and simulate those. So kind of like not building the whole product. If this kind of, I don't know, flying car is your business idea, then you don't want to build the whole car or MVP of it. to validate the riskiest part, you just locate what's the weak spots, what's the most riskiest part and most crucial part, and just build it, or actually simulate it and start testing. So here's now example. Kind of a process flow if you want to build this kind of tax mobile app. Okay, first someone scans a receipt with the tax information with your phone. Then there's the mobile app in the phone and all the artificial intelligence and image recognition techniques are sorting out the tax information and all the numbers there, and then sending it to cloud, and the cloud is storing the data, crunching the data, and then sending it forward to the system, the software of the accountant that is making the final, well, tax value added tax deduction whatsoever, writing those up there. And this is the classic way, and this is the wrong way to do it. If when we start to do the right way, we can like, we don't need to build anything anymore. Like the same process, for example, if I want to, okay, so the first step is that there's a user takes a photo of a receipt, and then in the phone of the user is a Dropbox app, and there is just one specific folder, and he or she uploads the receipt in the folder. And now the third step is that you or someone from your team just manually writes down the value-added tax information that you can see. You can see the image in the Dropbox folder, and then you can go and manually write it down, fill the value-added tax information in the accountant software. So now you have built the same solution without any kind of programming, any kind of coding. You don't need money for this, and you can set up this kind of process in like hours. Or actually, you don't even need to add anything to the value directly to the accountant software. You could just, I don't know, write down the tax numbers and send that in a document to the accountant and say that, hey, please, can you manually put this, like write this down there, and I pay you the cost, how much it takes to add one receipt, not really long time. Anyway, so now the difference. If you start to build something, the setup time is like, it can be like, I don't know, 6 months, 12 months, 2 months, like 24 months, like 2 years. And this is the, like, you don't want to do this. Instead, if you just like mash up this, and you have found it, the what are the riskiest parts, like we have been talking here, then you can set up this kind of solution in 2 hours, or maybe it takes 1 week. So that's quite a substantial, like crucial, like yeah, big difference. And once again, this is the one at the above, at the top of the image. That's the newbie or the misunderstood MVP approach. And nowadays, once again, we can mash up existing solutions, competitors, and technology without need of building anything. So now, the long time to validation is the one that kills here. So it's that's the one biggest and only thing killing business ideas, because you burn all the assets, so time and money, and you run out of assets, and it takes too long even to validate anything, even to test, like experiment anything. And here at the bottom, okay, well, now it's missing, but this is now like the 2 hours to, I don't know, 1 week here. And of course, the like, yeah, okay, my slides are mixed. So yeah, this is the 1 week here. And also, because the point is that the experimenting is the starting point for the game. It's not a goal. So somehow the mind starts to think that, okay, then I just build something and things start to work. No, it's not like this, and you can't burn your assets before, because this is the point. Here you start to really need time and money, because the testing and the whole competition, the whole business starts from this point. So it's not this. And also, like, if you can set, if the time to validation is 1 week, despite of it, the first guess is never the final one. So even after this, you need to set up new stuff, and that's just why it's so crucial. And also about the experiment goals, you want to start small. Like in this case, you're trying to figure out if people are willing to use this solution and continue the subscription. It's just like the first thing you want to test is that, are they using it at all? Maybe they just use it once or 5 times over a week, over 2 weeks, and finally, of course, you can test that if they're going to use it like 4 weeks or whatsoever. So kind of like okay, let's go back here. So the point once again here, that we want to build a solution like for the user. It's still the same solution, even we are doing the work in the background manually. So the user doesn't really care how it's technically built, if it's just good user experience and it solves the problem. And of course, it's not perfect, but it's so close that it doesn't matter. And you just, because with that you can, well, find the answer to the most riskiest and vital question: are they willing to use the damn application? And of course you learn what are the challenges if they are not, and even they're using, you are still learning about the challenges. And this is kind of like, it was in a LinkedIn post, or I don't know who said it, but it was kind of well said that we in our minds, we mix up what we believe, kind of the hypothesis, with what we know, the evidence. So it's that's just how our mind works, that we are not like when we hope or believe something enough, we think that it's the truth, even we don't have any evidence. And here, this is the goal, is to fill up this missing link between the idea, what we believe, and the truth. Okay, so just to recap, the first step was to break down the business elements, then you prioritize with the quadrant, and last you start this rapid experimenting or testing with top 1 to 3 elements. And of course, with any, like the first test or experiment with any business idea anywhere ever is and the fastest, and each idea needs to be started with this: just talk to the customer, because it's cliche, but you just learn so much from there. And also the best thing is that maybe you start to discuss and you see immediately in like you can today see that, okay, actually it's not a big problem in their life at all. So you can immediately say that, okay, this business idea, I don't need to spend any time anymore on it. I can just proceed to next one. And that's actually the biggest win. And that's also the fail fast culture, but it's very misunderstood what it means. So thank you for this. And yeah, if you want to, if this sounds interesting, and you need help with either breaking down the business elements, prioritizing, or then coming up how to fast test these ideas, you can contact me, you can join my email list, you can send connection request in LinkedIn. That's the social media I'm most active, and let's discuss more. And also any feedback about this approach is very welcome. Thank for your time. Bye.